What's good, YouTube? Important video right here. It's when you're real thirsty. If y'all feel like donating to the channel, put my Cash App up here on the end of the screen. Not at the end of the screen, but I'm gonna put it up at the end of the video. But you can go on down into the section where you can thumb up or thumb down the video and go on, slide on over to the super thanks and give your boy Trey57 a super thanks for giving y'all this important message. There's a lot of parents out there that knows that school season is back. And with that being said, please do not give your children time out on the corner. Don't punish them. Don't give them whoopings. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your kids. But when your child comes home with a bad grade, they're not getting A's and B's or C's, and they're getting D's and F's. Don't be mad at them. Don't be mad at them. I said in one of my videos before, I said, we don't all learn the same. We are not the same, first of all, but we do not learn the same. We do not pick up on things the way others pick up on things, and that does not make you smarter or dumber. Your children go to school to sit in front of these educators known as teachers. These teachers, that word teach means I can teach you. Okay? 30 kids a class, 10 kids a class, 15 kids a class. And I can understand that can be a lot for a teacher. But you should not be a teacher or consider yourself a teacher if you cannot teach all your children. In order to have the title teacher, you need to be able to, you got 15 kids in a class and they all learn at a different pace. You have to find 15 ways to teach each one of these kids. You are the teacher. You took that job. Your title says teacher. Y'all get teacher awards, teacher of the year. And this kid goes home with an F, bad report card. Now his mom and dad is screaming at him. Whoever's taking care of this child. Now he's going around thinking that he ain't intelligent, he ain't smart enough, he thinking he dumb. Then he becomes what they call a fuck up in society. Because he threw the towel in, because he could not understand that y'all really aren't teachers. Some of you try, some of you, I can count them on one hand. Not taking nothing away from teachers. But I'm speaking to the parents out there. Go to the school when your child is not picking up on something. Yes, you do have them children that say they paying attention, and I'm talking about the kids that pay attention, they just ain't picking it up. It's not the child's fault, it's the teacher's fault. You have a title called teacher. You have to, not the child, you have to find ways to teach that child. You have to find ways to bring that child up to the level that you want him or she to be at. Oh, we can all learn, but it takes the right teacher to be able to teach that child, so that child can develop into something. I've seen kids throughout my years coming up that just didn't catch on to nothing the school system was teaching them. Teacher said that child was gonna be a screw up, a dummy, fucked up, he ain't gonna make it. Basically said, dumb. It's come from a teacher. And you getting teacher awards saying kids ain't gonna make it at y'all teachers meeting, talking amongst other teachers. Really? But this child that I'm talking about, is a state police officer now. The school system didn't help him. He helped himself after school. He helped himself. All them years he's sitting in school, he thinking, I can't keep up with them, feeling bad when some teachers notice. But when you in school, you as a student don't know that you ain't supposed to be on the level of the other child, the next one sitting next to you. You ain't supposed to be. It is not, first of all, we are not the same. We are not the same, and we never will be. Our minds are totally different. Our souls are totally different. So we learn at different levels. So if you call yourself a teacher, you need to find out how to touch all them levels to make that student shine bright as y'all want them to shine. Before you put these titles on these other kids and put this one down and say he dumb and they smart. Well, here's the good class, here's the guest class, there was classes called GATE when I was in school. GATE was considered the smart kid, the gateway to the best. I was never in GATE, and I never cared about being in GATE. But something back then told me that this is some bullshit. I would go to school. Math was not my strongest, y'all. It wasn't. I could read my ass off. I could read my ass off. And I wasn't in touch with my inner self back then, but I knew there was something special about me. I'm not better than y'all. I'm just saying I knew there was something special about me. But I just didn't know how to use it. I could tell y'all many stories, and I'm going to do that because I love y'all. And I would be in school like, why can't I pick up how they picking up? He passing up an A, he passing up a B, and I'm scared to even turn my assignment in. But y'all, listen, I tried my hardest. I just was not catching it. Blaming myself. Now I'm sitting here like, wow. I'm very educated now. I got a lot of knowledge now. I could not have this knowledge that I have right now back then in school. I'd have probably aced every test. But I didn't get this until after school and many years after that. Point I'm trying to make is that the teachers even made it to where these kids ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't trying. They're F. They say it out loud. You're gonna have to try harder next time. I'm like, but like I said, now I see I should have said, you try harder. Your title, you write your name on that chalkboard and say Mrs. Abino or Mrs. Slavonic. And in reality, it should say teacher. So then we all looking at that, we see that word teacher. Okay, let's see what they gonna teach us today. No, really teach us today. All I knew about that was your name. I left that class, the only thing I remember was your name. Listen, y'all, she wrote her name on the board. All I can remember was what her name was and the outfit she put on that day. Because the teacher had some great legs and some pretty eyes and some pretty hair. And all that mumbo jumbo went in one ear and out the other. It was like Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. But there were some things that I picked up on. And the reason why I said the way the teacher looked and how she dressed and when she came in, because they was dressing like they was going to a hooker club when I was in school. It might as well have been some strippers at night, after work, while they was at work, teaching us, pretending to teach us. So you got teachers that do try their hardest to teach children. And I have seen those people, how they came up with them teachers that really tried. Those kids really prospered. But those teachers that just say F, call the mom, call the father, call the grandmother, this kid ain't even trying. I'm talking the best behavior in the world. but they just wasn't picking up. And the teacher would point that out in front of the whole class. It's really not that hard, Marcus or D'Amico. You need to try harder. 1 + 1 = 2, and you put 5 down. Really? Like, really would bash a kid out in the open like that. You don't do stuff like that. Your job as a teacher. See, when we leave these schools, we think y'all heroes. I never thought teachers was heroes. But I will tell you, there were some teachers when I was coming out of school that I really loved. My art teacher. I loved the lunch cafeteria personnel for feeding me when I wasn't home. Who else? My gym teachers for keeping me physically fit during my school years. Maybe an English teacher here or there, but you know, as time went on, the things that they wanted me to learn, I just wasn't grasping it, and that was only because they couldn't find ways to teach that to me. It's not that I was stupid or slow, dumb. It was their fault. But if I would have known what I know right now, I would have said, no, you failed as a teacher. I didn't fail, you failed. This is basically what I'm saying, y'all. If a child fails, the teacher failed. The child never failed. When your child come home with a bad grade, they didn't fail. Please go back to the school and talk to the teacher and say, hey, listen, you cannot fail my child. If you fail my child, then you failed yourself as a teacher, because your title is teacher. Teach my child before you call yourself a teacher. Now, I'm not talking about them kids that just don't want to go to school and don't give a fuck and don't want to do nothing. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that really put their heart and soul in that book and it just don't pick up. Teachers need to teach them. Stop going home talking about, I got to put my dress on, we got to go to the teacher's ball. You know, and then they go amongst each other talking trash on the kids that just don't pick up on and call them all kinds of names and say they ain't never gonna make it until they run into that child 15 years later and find out that kid is a doctor. Woo, but they didn't get that teaching from you. And another thing, the knowledge that I have, I was given all that knowledge that I should have learned in school. I was given it to me spiritually after school. After school was done, that knowledge was slowly being embedded in my blueprint. In my blueprint. And for years, I couldn't figure out what was going on with me. I go to sleep at night, and these so-called dreams, which I know are realms, real realms that really go on. You know, when you wake up out of a so-called dream, that's still going on. You just ain't there right now. You here. When you lay back down, you might not even tap back into that same dream or realm. You in another one, but those exist. I just thought I'd drop this on y'all. I love y'all. Don't beat your kids. Don't be hard on your kids. Work with your kids and work with the system and see if they can find a better way to help you and your child. Love y'all. Stay blessed. And let's get it, y'all. We in this fight together. I love y'all. Oh, I forgot to put that Cash App donation up there. Y'all don't have to donate, but there it is. Money symbol, capital L, 318, capital T, lowercase R-E. That's Trey57 for Cash App. Love y'all. Stay blessed. That's the money symbol. It's real out here, y'all. Stay in the fight. That's for y'all. Love y'all.